Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson have a combined net worth of almost $400 billion, about the equivalent of the GDP of Ireland. And all three moguls have decided to invest a lot of their resources in pursuit of their dreams of space travel, creating a modern race in which the richest men, rather than countries, shoot for the stars. Before we begin to tell you all about this new incarnation of the space race, we would like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and press the subscribe button to receive the latest updates for our videos. Now let's begin. The press has dubbed Bezos, Branson, and Musk as the three so-called space barons for their similarities. They all made their fortune in other industries before setting their sights on extraterrestrial dominance. Musk in online payments and electric cars, Bezos with Amazon, and Branson with his conglomerate of Virgin businesses. And all of them started their companies within a few years of each other, becoming the most prominent faces in the 21st century space race, in which private industrial titans race towards space, rather than Western governments racing Eastern governments like the space race of the last century. But they are certainly not the only players in the game, and they may not be the only space barons for long. There are hundreds of space launches all over the United States, and the world is focused on everything from satellite technology to orbiting hotels. SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin have all benefited greatly from working with NASA and the U.S. military, and all three continue to compete and occasionally work with legacy airlines such as Boeing and Northrop Grumman and the United Launch Alliance. If there is any kind of race underway, most betting people would bet on SpaceX to win. Founded in 2002, it built rockets capable of shuttling satellites and other cargo in orbit around the Earth while traveling at speeds of more than 17,000 miles per hour and creating a 1,500-star constellation of internet beaming satellites. It has discovered how to land and reuse most of its hardware after a flight and won major NASA and American military contracts. It created and flew the most powerful rocket in operation and executed the synchronized landings of its booster. SpaceX also developed a spacecraft that successfully carried astronauts to the International Space Station. SpaceX is now working to create a spacecraft that will take humans to the Moon and Mars. So far, neither Branson's nor Bezos' companies have been able to take astronauts into orbit. Their companies, by comparison, simply scratch the space limit. SpaceX is said to have single-handedly disrupted the rocket industry, which was considered stagnant and boring for a few decades before the advent of SpaceX. But on the other hand, Musk himself did not go into space, nor did he say when he would do so, or if he intends to take the risk soon. His most notable comment on the issue is that he would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. Musk, the world's third richest man, has also criticized his rivals for trying to accumulate profits, in contrast with SpaceX, which aims to make life interplanetary. If one billionaire has made it a point not to rush into rocket manufacturing, it is Jeff Bezos. He founded Blue Origin in 2006, years after the launch of Amazon, and gave it the slogan Gradatum Ferocitor, a Latin phrase that translates as step by step. Fiercely, the company's mascot is a tortoise, a reference to the tortoise and the hare story that gave us the mantra slow and steady wins the race. Bezos' approach could be seen as an attempt to position Blue Origin as the anti-SpaceX, which is known for embracing speed over slow and gradual development. For years, the company had operated in almost total secrecy. But now the goals are clear. Bezos, the richest man in the world, wants to finally send people to live and work in orbital space colonies to extend human life after the Earth runs out of energy resources. He also started Blue Origin with the aim of building a cheap rocket and spacecraft technology that would be needed to build such extraterrestrial accommodations. The company has also set plans for a moon landing and has partnered with NASA and others to establish a moon base. New Shepard, Blue Origin's fully autonomous, reusable rocket, was intended to be the first step in building lunar lander technology, which helps teach the company how to safely land a small spacecraft on the Moon. But the company has also entered its New Shepard vehicle into a suborbital space tourism business, in which it can sell tickets to rich adventure seekers. On July 20th, the New Shepard rocket that Blue Origin had been developing for years carried one of the most unusual astronaut crew ever to leave Earth. In addition to Bezos, on the board the capsule was Bezos' brother, Mark, Wally Funk, an 82-year-old pioneer, and Oliver Deeman, an 18-year-old student from the Netherlands. It went higher than Branson's rocket, above the Kármán line at a distance of 62 miles, the scientifically recognized border of space, unlike Branson's spaceplane, which went about 50 miles high, which the U.S. government considers as outer space. But in the background, Blue Origin is still working on very powerful technology. It is developing a giant rocket system called New Glenn. SpaceX, however, has beaten Blue Origin in competition for many lucrative government contracts, including NASA's Lunar Lander contract, which is currently being contested by Blue Origin. Separately, Amazon has also announced plans to create a constellation of internet-beaming satellites, such as SPACEX'S STARLINK. Although Starlink is actually based on the ideas that were first tried in the 1990s, Musk often accuses Bezos of being a copycat. Recently, however, the Branson and Bezos rivalry is in the limelight. Branson's Virgin Galactic was launched with the same business plan as Blue Origin's and New Shepard. Take your paying customers on supersonic flights to the edge of space. The Virgin Galactic technology looks very different, using a winged spaceplane rather than a rocket and capsule combination, but the short-term goal is almost the same. Branson set off speculation that Virgin Galactic had restructured its test flight plans to get Branson to space ahead of Bezos' flight on July 20. Although Branson has long promised to be the first space baron to actually go into space, Virgin Galactic has faced many major setbacks that have pushed its plans back for years. A horrible accident during a test flight of Spaceship Two in 2014 killed a pilot, and a series of other technical difficulties had to be overcome before the company could declare the spacecraft was enough to fly Branson. In the Branson versus Bezos battle, Branson has one bragging right that Bezos doesn't have. Virgin Galactic has sent a rocket into orbit, and that requires more speed and power than suborbital travel. Branson's Virgin Orbit, which emerged from Virgin Galactic in 2017, sent its first collection of satellites to orbit in January. Although Virgin Orbit's Launcher 1, which takes off from under the wing of the Boeing 747, is not as powerful as Musk's Falcon 9s or Bezos' Glenn, it is considered an industry leader in a niche race to produce rockets designed specifically for hauling small satellites, or smallsats, into space. Virgin Galactic also has some ambitious long-term plans, including creating a suborbital, supersonic jet that can take people between cities at breakneck speed. To sum up, all three billionaires have similar space goals, and the goal is for private companies to transport satellites, people, or goods in space cheaper and faster than they could in the past. And who is the ultimate winner of this so-called space race? It all depends on how you look at it. This brings the video to an end. We hope you liked it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content.